Friday to the Take Two family. This is your show, Take Two, with Jerry and Debbie and you. And this is Unscripted today, the final day of February. Can you believe it? This year is flying by, and we love to do Unscripted. It's one of my favorite shows because you bring the topics to the table. We don't pick the topics. We actually put on the show calendar Unscripted, which means it's your chance to visit a previous topic. If you didn't get in and you were on the line and you were waiting on a previous show, you can share it today. You can suggest future topics. We love that. We are just starting to fill in the April calendar. We've got a lot in March already, and we're going into the April calendar. So if you have a topic that you really want us to address the Take Two way, well, then this is the show to do it. You can also talk about something that's on your mind or your heart, or if you have a relationship situation that you want to talk about. Please, you're part of the family. You don't have to be Catholic, and I really and truly need you to call in. So fill those phone lines, and you hear me say this every Friday, but remember, we have brand new listeners every single time we do this broadcast. So don't get started with your weekend yet. Please call in and really make this Unscripted just a powerful one to go all around the world. 833-288-EWTN. That's the way to reach us. 833-288-3986. And Matt is on the phones, ready, willing, and able to answer your call. So just stop what you're doing, push everything aside, pull over safely to the side of the road, and make your unscripted call for this show. And it's unscripted because any call can come in. We pretty much answer pretty much all the calls that come in, or somehow we address it. You can always email us, and we'll read the email, and we can address it that way. And that's at Take Two, the number 2, or you can spell it out, take2@EWTN.com. It comes right to us. You can go on Facebook, Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. You can ask your question or make your comment there that you want us to address on this Unscripted. You could go on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Facebook page, put your comment there. Wow, there's so many ways to reach us. How about texting us? You can text us. Yeah, if you have something to say for this Unscripted episode, you can text us. All you have to do is you text the letters EWTN to 58177. Wait for our response. Then you text us your first name and your question or comment, or if you have something to say, you just put it right there. And just know that message and data rates may apply. Today is Blessed Daniel Brotier. That's the saint of the day, Blessed Daniel Brotier. I just love this because my son's name is Daniel, and I just love that there's a saint for this particular day. I just think that's wonderful. The reason why we highlight the saints, I just wanted to share with our listeners. We don't do it all the time, but we do it pretty much, I would say about 50% of the time we mention the saint of the day. Why? Because we want you to make a note of it and then learn more about that saint. Okay. And so there's a little bit of homework assigned to that when we announce things. Also, I just wanted to let you know that we are, as you know, the final day of February, but tomorrow, March 1st, is The Spirit World with Adam Bly. Great show we had recorded with Bishop Walterscheid. That's right. He's a favorite of Take Two's. He's been on this show. He listens to Take Two's. So, Your Excellency, if you're listening right now, thank you so very much for being with us on The Spirit World. And this brand new broadcast that we recorded is airing tomorrow. And it's how does one become a saint? How does the church the canonization process, how does it work? And it's all because Bishop Walterscheid, first of all, he's a wonderful shepherd. He's so delightful to talk to. And he is very close to Blessed Carlo Acutis. And so are we. So we thought this is the perfect person to have as a guest on the Spirit World to talk about the canonization process. So that's tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's heard right here on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network. It's produced by Guadalupe Radio Network, so we're very grateful. And Bishop Walterscheid was just incredible. That's tomorrow, but this is today, and this is Unscripted. And we are, yes, I'm getting the messages. Yes, at the top of the prayer book is the prayers for our Holy Father and Pope Francis. Yes, we are praying round the clock for Pope Francis, and he's making improvements. I understand. That's the latest I heard from the reports coming out of Italy. So that's very, very exciting, and we just hope he continues to stay strong, and that's a good thing. So yes, prayers for the Holy Father. But I'd love to hear your voice. This is Unscripted. Maybe you have a relationship situation going on, like something's bothering you. This is the perfect platform to discuss it, especially on the Unscripted show. Maybe you really wanted to call in on a previous show, or a previous caller had an impact on you, and you'd like to comment about that. Again, this is the perfect platform today on Unscripted. But if you leave me all alone with no one to talk to, I can fill the whole entire hour. I've been known to do that. I don't want to do that. I want you to fill the hour. So if you would please stop what you're doing for a few minutes, you'll get right in. Here is the number 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. It's your show. Unscripted is very popular. But I will tell you, sometimes because when it does fall on a Friday, we usually keep it to the end of the month. So it's kind of like a catch-all episode where we can go back and look at other. I have the book, the show book out. And so I know all the previous callers and the topics and everything. So we like to keep it at the end of the month. Now, I will tell you, when it does fall on a Friday, we do run the risk of you guys getting started with your weekend plans, okay? And I don't want that. So don't wait till the last minute to call in. I'm not trying to guilt you. I'm not trying to put any Catholic guilt on you at all, but I do really expect your company because this is your show. So always remember that. 833-288-3986. It's Unscripted today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. And I really want you to fill every single phone line plus, and let's have a great discussion so we can close out the month of February together the Take Two way. Sound good? That sounds good to me. All right, I'll be right back.
Listen to EWTN Radio day or night. Audio on Demand brings you your favorite EWTN programs instantly to you for free. Download the EWTN app today at EWTNapps.com.
Hi, this is Father Mike Schmitz. Please join me for Ascension's Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year here on EWTN Radio. We're going through the entire Bible and the Catechism in 365 days. If you've ever wanted to understand what it means to be Catholic and allow those truths to shape your life, this is for you.
Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on EWTN Radio.
This is Debbie Georgiani. If you missed part of today's show, catch the encore tonight at midnight Eastern or anytime at EWTN Podcast Central. Visit us at EWTN.com/radio/podcasts.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the loving service of Pope Francis and the hope he has inspired in so many in your great mercy. Have mercy on him in his illness now, we pray, and guide the medical staff in his care. Grant him peace and healing through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Okay, now you guys are responding. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling in. This is Unscripted, so I do expect to hear from you. So if you have something to say, now is the time to do it. Don't wait till the end of the show. 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. And we're going to get to Renee in just a second. Renee, don't go anywhere because you are our first caller to start the conversation about anything, because it's unscripted. Okay, so it's super fun to have this show. But I wanted to share with our listeners about Laudate, along with the great Catholic content on the Laudate app. That's Latin, by the way. You can listen to the EWTN radio live stream. Open the Laudate app and then click on EWTN. That is so convenient. I'm so glad that you can do that on the app. Okay, we're going to get to Renee. Renee is first from Rock Creek, Ohio, on the EWTN app. Hi, Renee.
Hello?
Hello, Renee. You're on the air.
Oh, thank you. I was calling because there was two shows that I wanted to call in, but I wasn't able to make a comment. And the first one is I wanted to tell you that my husband is an Army veteran, and on Veterans Day, you did a show honoring veterans, and we just sat in the car and listened to your whole show, and my husband was just so honored and edified and just so blessed by the things that you were saying and how you were responding to people, and just how much love and respect that you had for veterans. And I wanted you to know that there was a veteran that was listening that was just so blessed to hear that show.
Oh my gosh, that's going to make me cry because, it's so interesting, Renee. Just this morning with the elevation and the canonization process of now Venerable, some of the family says Capon, okay, and talking about his life serving and being so loyal to the military people, and then also to everyone around him, and then his movement in the canonization process. This morning, we were listening to Bishop Coffey on the morning show, and he was commenting how excited they are at the Archdiocese of the Military Services about that Venerable Capon, or how do you say it? Do you know who I'm talking about? The military, how he's just been.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay, all right. He's served in the military, and he's now on the road to sainthood. Okay, and you should look.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, you should look him up. And if you just give me a moment, in the next break, I'll look up his actual full name right now. And I think it's Venerable Emil Capon. And he is so amazing, the story. Anyway, long story short, Renee, we were listening to Bishop Coffey talk about how thrilled they were that he has been elevated and his cause for canonization is moving forward, right? And I turned to my husband and I said, I just want to cry, because I don't think we realize how these military men and women, whether they're drafted or they sign up willingly, and sign on for a certain period of time, I don't think we realize what they go through, and we need more. We need more conversations about that. And I just,
absolutely.
Yes. And so by you saying this, Renee, I don't believe there's any accident. I believe the Holy Spirit was telling me, after I just told my husband this morning, that and you just confirmed it, that the Holy Spirit is telling us we need to do more shows that address military issues and the vets as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is Father Emil J. Capon. And I will tell you that it's pronounced two different ways. Capon is the way I understand some of the family members pronounce it, and I read a whole article on this. It's really fascinating. And Capon is the way a lot of local people pronounce his last name. But he's now been elevated to Venerable. So we're waiting. Wow. We're waiting for miracles. Yeah, and you can
That's
find.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you can find the whole site at FR Capon or Capon, KAPAUN.org. Okay, so you just have to put in. So that's how you can get the whole. And for everyone else that's listening, and Bishop Coffey was on our show, Take Two, and he was talking about the two military that are on the way to sainthood, which is he's one of them, this Father Emile, and then Capodanno. So Vincent Capodanno. So you've got two that are, and there's others as well that are on the road to sainthood. It's very exciting. So we're waiting for the miracle. So you may want to follow the whole path, because I know that the military, the Archdiocese for the Military Services, is so excited about it. Anyway, that's a long answer
wonderful.
to your short comment, but I wanted to make sure you and everyone else that everybody, the whole Take Two family knows that we care very much. Jerry comes from a military family. I come from a military family, and we love our military men and women. So thank you, Renee.
That's wonderful. Well, and I also wanted to tell you there was another show when you asked, is there a movie that inspired you spiritually? Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody mentioned Amazing Grace, which is based on the true story of William Wilberforce his part in abolishing slavery in the United Kingdom. Have you seen that movie?
I have not. I just wrote it down. We're going to watch it this weekend. Okay.
Yeah. And he, William Wilberforce, he just had a deep spiritual faith. And while he was going through the Parliament, and he would bring bills forward multiple times and they would get shut down. But then he was getting letters to people telling him the details of what was going on in the slave trade. And he was so tormented, would wake up tormented. And it was just a really good depiction of people who are fighting evil, what they go through, just even in their sleep, in their dreams, and how they're tormented because they're fighting evil.
Wow. Okay. I just jotted it down, but quick question. Would you know, like, when it was you don't have to give me exact date, but how many years ago did this movie come out?
I think it was like in 2005.
Okay. So good. Okay. I just asked that for many reasons. The scripts they're changing so rapidly, and there's certain decades of when movies were made that the script and things have changed, and so I've become so sensitive to that, and I just was curious.
Know.
Okay,
It was actually, I just looked it up. It came out in 2006.
Oh, you were spot on, Renee. Boy, you're on top of things.
Well, and I was I was a young adult living in the D.C. area, and I still wanted to work on Capitol Hill. It never worked out, but I saw that movie and it impacted me so much. I went back the very next day in the theater to see it by myself again, because it was just so impactful on fighting evil, and then what you can do in the political realm to do that.
Wow. Do you volunteer in local areas in getting involved in because right now I find it very exciting what's happening. There's a lot of movement. Yeah. Are you thinking about or discerning maybe going back locally and just doing something? Because I'm actually thinking of doing something.
It's interesting that you say that, because I just thought about that a couple of days ago, that I should explore that again. I'm married with children now, but my daughters are about to graduate high school, and I've always had a deep passion for the political realm.
Yep,
and
me too.
So maybe when God had me in D.C., it was just that wasn't the right time, and maybe for me to do something locally with even just city council and, the Republican National Convention or something here locally in Ohio.
Well, remember something, Renee, and then I'll let you go. But remember something, Renee, the principle of subsidiarity, which is what we practice as Catholic Christians, right? Everything is supposed to be taken down, or, for the most part, down to the local level. So being at the local level is at the heart of where you're going to get that soul-to-soul ministry. Just wanted to let you know that. Yeah. So it's very important. Very, very important. But Renee, will you do me a favor? Tell your husband, please. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing about, when we do these episodes, we always wonder, what kind of impact they have had. And so please thank your husband for sharing that. And please also thank him for his military service. Okay.
Prayer book, because he battles anxiety and depression from some of the things that he experienced in the military.
I will definitely put him in. Do you feel comfortable giving us his first name or no?
It's Joshua.
Joshua. Okay, got it. Okay, we'll start praying for Joshua, and please again thank him so very much. And Renee, thank you. Now you can get started with your weekend. Okay, let me know if you decide to go into the local political arena. I'll be one of your biggest supporters. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Renee, take care. God bless you. All right, that was a great call to start us off on Unscripted. You see how it works. See, I don't come to I have nothing in front of me. Well, that's not true. I have the prayer book and I have the notes and stuff, but I'm talking about I don't have a theme. That's why when Renee called, I had to, go back to my memory from this morning. And believe me, sometimes I cannot remember what I ate for dinner last night. The older I get, I'm going to be 60 this year. I'm just letting everybody know. I feel like I could put my age out there. So you can always ask me how old I am. But I act like I'm about 12 or 13 years old. Okay. Sandy is up next from Central Florida on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Sandy. Welcome to Unscripted.
Hi.
Hi. Go right ahead.
So my question is it common for people, lay people, other than the priest, to write homilies and presentations that the priest is going to give, like on a religious nature or maybe even a not religious nature, to the parish or to committees or whatever? Is it common?
No, it's not actually. Let me just make sure I hear you correctly. You're saying that parishioners are submitting homilies that they have written and the priest is just reading them?
Well, yes and no. So we have a new priest now that, a lot of priests change over in the summer. So the previous priest that we had, the way that his homilies went, it seemed to be a very specific pattern. And knowing him as much as I did, not that we were best friends, but, we even socialized. So I was just like, this is not him. He must subscribe to something. And I even, kind of commented one day to one of the staff members, and I said, I don't know what Father subscribes to, but this homily seemed more himself, and I said I really enjoyed it. So she says, I don't know, how he gets his homilies. I don't know where they come from. So now we have this priest, and I definitely know for a fact, I don't know that they're writing his homilies. I don't think they're writing homilies. But they are writing his presentations for like we're having some regular events following up on the Eucharistic revival that, we started last year.
Right.
And then we've got the Jubilee year. So we're having different talks about that. Well, I've come to realize that he's not writing them. There are other individuals that are lay people that are writing them. And
Okay.
I'm thinking, well, maybe this is normal. What do I know?
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Now I understand it. Okay. So Sandy, a couple things. You have every right to be curious and courteous in a way to ask Father how he prepares for his homily. You have, absolutely. I ask priests all the time, Father, what do you do to prepare? And wow, there's some priests I know they're preparing all week long. And then there's some priests that prepare a couple days before. And there are some priests that do get input from other lay leaders in the parish that they can trust that they would be theologically correct on how to break open the readings in a way that would appeal to the parishioners. So yes, in answer to your question, I have heard of collaboration on homilies. However, it's would I say it's common? Most of the priests that I've worked for, or I have worked with, or even just been friends with, they prepare their own homilies. Now they will go to various sources online and pull information. Like a lot of them I know have gone to Catholic Answers website, Catholic.com. They've gone to EWTN. They'll pull information from other sources. Absolutely. And sometimes if they're really busy or if they struggle a little bit in that area, they will ask for input. As for writing things for events or for the bulletin, yeah, parishioners, and staff members and volunteers that the pastor trusts, they'll sometimes write their articles for the bulletin. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it's rare that honestly, I think oftentimes the parish manager or the assistant to the pastor will usually draft they'll get ideas from the pastor and then they put it into words. The pastor always approves everything. So as long as it's theologically correct, I don't really see a big issue with it. I could be wrong. If you want to ask if there's any canonical issue to it, I would definitely call to communion with Dr. David Anders to make sure on that one. What do you say, Sandy, real quick?
I guess I was just really surprised because he put me in charge of something, and then over time, somebody else sort of got in the mix of it, and they said, well, why isn't Sandy more involved with this instead of, this other person?
Got you. Okay, hold on, Sandy. I got to address that. That's very interesting. Hold on. Hang on a little longer. Berlinda and the others, please hang on, but keep calling, guys. We have some open phone lines for this February Unscripted.
This is Life Issues with Brad Mattis, president of Life Issues Institute.
Apparently, chemical abortion pills are damaging the environment and have the potential to negatively impact the health of Americans. State legislatures in Arizona, Idaho, Maine, West Virginia, and Wyoming are introducing bills to regulate expelled so-called medical waste from at-home chemical abortions. Often this waste, including the unborn babies, are flushed into the sewer system. These pills contain dangerous endocrine disruptors, which are making their way into the nation's waterways. Law requires that hospitals dispose of legitimate medical waste carefully, but there are no laws regarding chemical abortions, which are almost always completed at home. According to many reports, women are advised by the abortion industry to flush the remains. I'll keep you posted.
Follow us on social media at Life Issues Institute.
This is Tracy Sable for Breaking Catholic News Worldwide. Join me for EWTN News Nightly tonight, 9 Eastern on EWTN Radio and Television.
Pope Francis tells us becoming a priest or a man or woman religious is not primarily our own decision. Rather, it's the response to a call of love. Do you feel as if God may be calling you to religious life? If so, contact a religious order faithful to the magisterium or your diocesan vocation. For information on the priesthood or religious life, visit EWTN.com/religious life today.
Helping build strong Catholic families.
This is EWTN Radio.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. You don't have to be a woman to enjoy Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Berlinda, don't go anywhere. I'm going to get to you next. I just wanted to finish my conversation with Sandy from Central Florida because this is unscripted, so I like to give everybody ample time. And it's very casual. That's what Unscripted is all about. So if you have something to say, you want to share something, you want to revisit a past topic like Renee did, she did it so beautifully. If you want to suggest future topics, if you have an issue at the parish, you want to talk about it, here is the show. This is the time. You've got it. It's all yours. Here's the number, 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Okay, Sandy, so going back to what you said, so it sounds like you were asked to do some things by the pastor, and then another member of the staff or the volunteer base of the parish, they were expecting you to do more in that area. Is that what you're trying to say? And then you weren't quite sure what your job description was?
Well, I mean, I'm just a parishioner. I'm a volunteer. It's a very, very small parish. And we've just started to realize that a lot of the presentations that he's making are being written by one of his volunteers at his previous parish.
Oh,
and
okay.
so somehow I got pulled in. Well, I'm a part of this committee here, and somebody said, well, you know, why aren't you writing it instead of this other person? I went to him about it, and he came to me, and he said, oh, I didn't mean to slight you. And so I've been tasked with it. And I don't mind helping, but I guess my thought was that, so these people are going to hear my thoughts, my research, not his thoughts and his research. And is that fair to everyone else? I mean, it's not that I don't mind helping, but it's not coming from his heart. It's coming from my heart.
Well, okay. So Sandy, then what you want to do, since it is a small parish, it sounds like he's tapping people that he trusts and that can help him lead the parish. There really isn't anything wrong with that. It actually is I think it's actually very smart of him to do that. It's difficult, especially with a small parish, if there's only one priest and he's being pulled in many different directions. So he will maybe bring a support team around him of people that can assist him in various areas. Now, what I would do, though, is maybe just get a clear idea of what his intention is for other people helping him. Maybe this person from this other parish, he's always trusted the way they can write, and they do it very well, and they do capture his thoughts, and he is approving it all. So there's really nothing wrong with that. To be honest with you, there's a lot of writers that write. There's a lot of very gifted clergy that write for high Catholic positions, even as high as the Pope. Okay, so I mean, it does happen. Now, what the key is it their thoughts? Is it the pastor's thoughts? That you should be clear on. Now, maybe he may say, you know, Sandy, I would love for you to help me in all these areas, but ultimately I'm going to approve it. I want to make sure it captures everything, and we put it out there to the parishioners. So you see what I'm saying? You can really work with it, and it can be beneficial, because actually, if you have the time to do the research, that saves him time where he can run around and be of service to his parishioners. So I don't know if that answered your question, you know, and it satisfied you, but I can just tell you that, yes, I've seen this before at parishes. Does that help?
Okay. Absolutely. It makes me feel better, because I felt like maybe this other person was kind of running him over, and he seems very not self-confident, because when you talk to him, just having conversations, he's a beautiful human being. And so I'm like, oh, I hope nobody's whitewashing him, because I want to hear what he thinks, not what she thinks.
Sure. I totally understand. Well, just, you know, keep an eye on it, make sure it's all theologically correct, and it, you know, and it does represent his beautiful heart. And I think that's wonderful. But ultimately, he's in charge, and he's got to approve it. So, but Sandy, you're awesome. Yep. Thank you so much for serving at your parish. You know how much I love ministry. If you listen to Take Two, I love ministry work at the parish. So thank you, Sandy. Okay, Berlinda's been waiting so long in San Antonio, Texas, on Guadalupe Radio Network. Berlinda, take it away.
Hi.
So go right ahead.
I have a question about Catholic and cremation, and whether, if it is okay to do it, and also if they're thinking of giving a piece of their ashes in like a jewelry for family members who are living.
Right.
I mean, I'm always thinking, well, first I was thinking Catholics should always be buried, not cremated, but I don't know, things are changing now. And I just wanted to check on that.
Sure, no problem. Okay, so there's an article that I can post on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page after the show. Give me about 15 minutes, and Michael, our producer, he's so good and so efficient and quick about this. I'll send him the article, and you can read it on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page about cremation and what to do with the and how to properly have the dignity for the departed soul. Okay, so a couple questions I need to ask you. Is this person you're talking about, or this group of people, are they Catholic?
Baptized Catholic, my mom and my aunt, and they've got their sacraments. My mom didn't get the marriage one, but they've pulled away after being in an orphanage, so a Catholic orphanage. So they were have some issues that they went through there. So I don't know. I think that kind of like made them kind of move away from it.
Sure. Okay.
And,
so okay. Go ahead.
They've been looking into burial to pay for their burial before they pass, because they don't want the family to deal with it. And they're like, I don't want people looking at my body and all this stuff. I'm like, well, it could be a closed casket or whatever with a picture of you, but she really wants to be cremated. And she's like, well, and if you want, I can leave a piece of and put some ashes in like a locket and a necklace or a ring. And I was like, Mom, I don't know. I think you need to have all your body together, for when we all come back. I don't know. And plus, you should be blessed into the ground. That's what I always thought.
Right. Absolutely. So okay. So let me go back and rewind this a bit. In answer to your question, is cremation allowed as a Catholic? Yes, it is. Okay, but it has to be properly done. Okay, we are not allowed to, as Catholics, we are not allowed to have the body cremated and then those cremains, those ashes, be separated in any way, stored in a house, stored somewhere on a shelf, anything. Like some people I've heard that they want to have them carried around with them all the time, the urn. No, and absolutely not acceptable in the Catholic Church. Okay, why? For many reasons. The Catholic Church is big on from the womb to the tomb. The Catholic Church, in its wisdom, knows how to keep the dignity of the body, the understanding of the soul, the understanding of when we are going to receive our glorified bodies. The Catholic Church is very clear on how to handle somebody passing and what to do with that individual and that beautiful Catholic baptized Christian. And that's why it's the funeral, a funeral service, a funeral mass should be done, proper burial, or in a mausoleum type. I would recommend a Catholic cemetery, absolutely. And no, please tell your mom I know what she's trying to do. It's a beautiful intention. I want to stay with my children. That is not the dignity. She is not showing herself the dignity. And we, as the Catholics, you as the Catholic, are not showing her that dignity by splitting up her ashes and sending it around in jewelry. That is a trend that is happening right now. People are making a lot of money off of it, and it is not correct. So please encourage her to do it. She's a baptized Catholic. Encourage her to do it the proper way and visit with a priest and make sure. And if she wants to pay for everything ahead of time, that's beautiful. It shows her heart. But I would definitely tell her to stay away from any of the worldly trends that are out there that people are doing, because it's disrespect of the body. Does that answer the question? But I'm going to post the article and it'll show you what the Catholic Church teaches. Does that help?
So then that leads to a second question to that. So I'm going to tell her, no, mommy, keep your body together. Don't have your ashes separate. And 2 is have a funeral mass for her. You bless the urn. So she's already got a slot with my father, who passed previously a long time ago. So she is going to be there. So we already have a slot. She's just paying for the cremation. So does she need to have a priest there at the burial site where she's going to be at if they have the mass?
Yeah, the internment. Okay, so what usually happens is what you want to do is call the priest, or the priest that you think she would go to for whatever parish she's close to, and find out their because sometimes a deacon will go when when they're placing the urn or they're placing the casket in the mausoleum or beneath the ground. So what you want to do is find I'll give you here's what you do instead. It just came to me. Call your local Catholic cemetery and speak to them. They'll actually give you the piece of paper that shows how it details out what to do for Catholic burial and interment.
Okay, because we have like the family plot over here in San Antonio, San Antonio Cemetery.
Yeah. Is it a Catholic cemetery or is it for anybody?
I want to say yes.
Okay, good. Okay, call that.
I never thought about it, but okay. I want to say it is.
Okay, so Berlinda, super easy. After we hang up, you call them and say, what is the proper steps? Because my mother wants to plan ahead of time. What are the proper steps? And actually, they will actually give you at the Catholic cemeteries, they'll give you the forms that show what you can and should not do as Catholics. So you'll get it all there. Just call them. They're so nice. I almost worked for Catholic cemeteries. I just love them. I think they do a fabulous job. Does that help, Berlinda?
Yes, it's giving me more of a direct way. But you still be posting something on...
Yes. Yeah. I'll post it. No worries. Just give Michael and I just a little bit of time to wrap up the show, and then I'll post it, okay?
Let me write that down now that I'm inside. What is it?
Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. Just look for Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. You'll see our pictures there. You'll see Take Two. You can like us there, and then just wait a few minutes, and you'll see the post come in from Michael, our producer. He's wonderful.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. God bless you. Okay, so Thank you. Have a beautiful weekend, Berlinda. Okay, so we heard from Renee and Sandy and Berlinda. Now where are you? Come on. You still have time. You're getting started with your weekend. I feel it. I know what's happening. Okay, I know what's happening. You are realizing that in just a few short days, we are going to begin Lent of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And so you're thinking, I better get in all those last lunches and dinners and weekend plans because I got to go into this 40 days of Lent. I know what you're thinking, but I need you to stop what you're doing and I need you to call in. I can take a couple more calls, and this is unscripted. You can ask anything. You can share anything. If I made any mistakes along this broadcast, you can correct me. Be nice, though. That's why I'm wearing my Be Kind hat. I have a Be Kind hat on. And so you're welcome to do that. You can ask something about your faith, your understanding of Lent, any questions about relationships. This is almost like a free life coaching hour. So please use this time wisely and call in, and you don't have to be Catholic. So here's the number, 833-288-EWTN. We had a couple people drop off, so you have an open line to come straight in. 833-288-3986. That is the number to call. Please dial in for this Unscripted, the final day of February. And then Monday's show is going to be, because it'll be in March. So what do? Prayer. Whom or what are you praying for? That's going to be our show on Monday, and Jerry will be with us. He is actually on spring break with the seminary, and he's in the middle of exams right now, so we hope he does well. He's probably listening right now, so pass those tests and get an A+. That's what we expect from Jerry Usher, but he'll be back with us on Monday. Whom or what are you praying for? And but I need you today because we still have quite a bit of the show left that we can cover some of these unscripted topics. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call. Okay, before we get back to the phones, and I wanted to say to Rich, who's on social media, Rich, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Matt answering the phones, amazing. And our fantastic producer, Michael McCall, is already... he's already planning to post things on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. He's incredible. I mean, he's way ahead of everybody. I love this. Okay, but before we get back to the phones, let me share this with you. And this is important. Pro Life Weekly is Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. host Abigail Galvan talks with guest Brian Westbrook about Carbondale's Illinois' overreaching buffer zone laws, and guest David B. Wright about the Life Leadership Conference, and gives the latest news updates on all things pro-life in the U.S. and around the world. Okay, that's what Abigail does, and that's Pro-Life Weekly, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. So please, please tune in. This is what I was talking about with Renee, how important it is that we stay current with what's going on in the Catholic world, and what's going on at the Vatican, what's going on in our local area. It's very important we get engaged, and we really do what we can to definitely be active and be an influencer of really good Christian principles. It's very important. I can't stress it enough. So please tune into that program. Okay, I believe we have Joe. Joe is driving through Texas, and Joe is on Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Joe. Welcome. Thanks for calling in.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well, Joe, but it doesn't sound like you're doing too well. Because what's going on?
So I just I'm going through a breakup right now, and I am trying to do the best that I can to keep my family together, trying to be patient, and trying to work on the things that I need to work on to improve this.
Is this a marriage, Joe? Are you married?
We're not legally. We're engaged, and we've got a daughter together, and I've been raising my stepdaughter, and we're just engaged. We've been together 11 years.
Okay. And who wants to break up? Can you give us without? Yeah, she does.
She does.
Okay.
She does.
Is there someone else involved, Joe?
No, it's just things that I've done over the past few years, and I've procrastinated a lot, and I've let her down quite a bit.
Okay, so she's brokenhearted.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Joe, is she giving you a little bit of an open door to make this better, or is it completely closed?
I don't know. I mean, she wanted me to go to counseling, and so that's what I'm doing now. And I hope it's not the door's not closed completely.
Okay.
She just wanted space and for me to take care of myself.
Okay. Well, Joe, here's some good news. Okay. First of all, do you like your counselor? Is it a Christian counselor?
Yes, she's actually a Catholic counselor.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, so you like her. Good. Okay, stay with her. Stay with her. Then, if you like her for now, and stay with her. But let your so you're engaged. So she's your fiance. Were you thinking, or can you get married in the Catholic Church?
We hadn't. I was baptized Catholic, but I'm not practicing or anything, or I haven't followed through.
Okay. Well, okay, that's part of the problem right there, Joe. Let me just share something with you. That's part of the problem. So you have an ability, being a baptized Catholic, to tap into many, many graces. And you're certainly not experiencing graces right now. You're experiencing a lot of sadness. So we need to fix some things and make some adjustments. Is she Catholic?
No, she's not. She does come from a Catholic background. Her grandfather was Catholic.
Okay. Is she open to going to Mass again with you? Is she open to going to church?
No, she's not. She's not open, unfortunately.
But she believes in God? Does she?
She's mentioned before that she hasn't. That she didn't. One time years ago.
Okay.
I don't know if she just said that out of anger or whatever it was, but
right. So, Joe, here, I want to share something with you, and we'll take this time, this moment. We have a couple minutes left. I want to just spend this time with you. Listen, please. I've done this for many, many years. You go ahead and get that help you need, okay? Get that help and really improve yourself. Be the best version you can possibly be. And really find your purpose for you. Obviously, you have children. You have a stepchild. You have your daughter. So you're raising your child. Be the best dad you can possibly be. But Joe, I would suggest just take this to prayer. You need to go back to church. Go back to church, Joe. Do things the right way. Do things God's way, and you will see those blessings and graces. Now, she may be completely turned off by that and walk away. Okay, but Joe, it's important. You, first of all, I don't know if Joe is your real name. Joe, you got to go to St. Joseph. March is the month of St. Joseph. Ask St. Joseph to help you. Continue going to that Catholic counselor and be the best Joe ever. And get strong and know that God has your back, Joe. And the important part right now is taking care of your daughter. And you said you take care of the stepdaughter as well. Okay, that's wonderful. Take care of yourself too. So take care of yourself, take care of the girls, and really get the help you need and express it if you feel that this is the relationship and you want to make this right. Express to your fiance, let her know you want to do things the right way. You want to show up well in the relationship. But I can tell you this, Joe, if you don't have God's blessing on this, it's going to be difficult. You need those graces, Joe. And I want you to know that they're there and they're available to you. And actually, if she's baptized Catholic too, they're available to both of you. So I would pursue getting right with the church too, and doing this. And you should have your daughter baptized. I hope you're thinking of getting her baptized. But Joe, I know it's painful because it's a relationship, so it's hitting you in your heart. I understand that. But always remember this, Joe. Your soul is more important than your heart. Your soul is more important. I know the heart hurts and you can, it really, really can sting. But you got to worry about your soul. Can you do that for us, Joe?
Yes, I will.
Okay, please.
Thank you so
much. Thank you. I promise you something. I'm going to promise you something, Joe. If you do it God's way, you will never regret it, Joe. Never. You will find that happiness. If you may not feel the certain happiness here on earth, but you ultimately will have a complete interior joy because you know where you're headed, Joe. And it's important for you to get to heaven. It's important for your daughters to get to heaven. It's important for your fiance to get to heaven. That's the goal, Joe. Okay?
Okay.
If you need to talk, okay, I can tell this is really hitting you hard. You can always email me and I'll reach out to you and we can talk. You just email me at take2@EWTN.com. Okay, Joe?
Okay, thank you.
All right. God bless you. Safe driving, okay? Okay, we only have a minute left. I just wanted to say hi to Daniel in Corning, New York on the Station of the Cross. I have less than a minute, Daniel, but you were waiting and I just wanted to say hello. Hello.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Happy Friday. God bless.
Thank you, Daniel. Daniel, I know this. You have a question about dating from a distance. Wow, this is a fascinating question. The relationship show would be great for you to call in. Daniel, call back on the relationship show in March. Yeah, and we'll get you to the front of the line. Thank you, Daniel. All right, God bless everyone. I said hello to everyone, didn't leave anybody on the line. That's good. And now you all can get started with your weekend. This was an amazing Unscripted. I love this show because you never know what kind of call you're going to get, and we learn something and grow. So thank you to the show team again, Rich and Michael and Matt. You are awesome. Thank you to all the affiliates that carry Take Two. God bless you all. You're doing such fine work for all your listeners. And tune in tomorrow to the Spirit World, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. Have a beautiful and blessed weekend. We'll see you real soon.
Want some more peace in your life? Need some more grace in your day?